Hi, everybody. It's Peter Gauthier with FlippingHomes.com, and I want to welcome everybody onto our marketing training call today. And it's going to be an ongoing series that we're going to provide on different timely topics. And so today's topic is going to be on marketing and how to ramp up your marketing. You know, one of the things I get a lot of questions about on the Ask the Flip Fip calls is, Pete, I'm not getting enough leads coming in. How do I change that? How do I kick up my game? And so my good friends Keith and Shannon French are with us today, and we're going to have a discussion on how to kick your marketing up to the next level. We're going to show you and teach you, and you're going to discover today how in a very, very simple and elegant way you can get an unfair advantage when it comes to marketing, and your lead flow is going to dramatically increase. And the best part is it's not going to cost you a lot of money. What Keith and Shannon are doing, and this is the reason I wanted them to be with us on this call, is their marketing budget is $500 a month or less. It's probably a lot less, and we're going to go into detail exactly what they're doing and how they're doing it. And so Keith and Shannon, are you with us on the call today?
Hey, Pete, we sure are. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can. And Shannon, you're there too?
Yes, I am.
Fabulous. I want to tell you guys a little bit about Keith and Shannon. Keith and Shannon are longtime Flipping Homes members and supporters. They've been active in the community, and they are Major League Baltimore area investors. Keith and Shannon are rehab investors. They have done a lot of rehabs. They're also major wholesalers, and what they've done is they've created a system for wholesaling leads for using leads that otherwise you'd throw in the trash can. And so they've created that system from scratch, and they're going gangbusters with it. But the reason I wanted them to be with us today is that I want you to hear, and I want you to join me as I explore with them the different avenues that they're marketing. And I'm going to tell you what we're going to touch today. Today we're going to cover the yellow letter, and we're going to go into detail into how to implement the yellow letter correctly, how much it will cost you to get it implemented, and then what the steps are to implement it, and what kind of return you can expect on your investment from the yellow letter campaign. Also, how to get the mailing list and where to get the mailing list, and how to put all that together so that if you don't have enough leads today, by next week you can have leads rolling into your system. Keith and Shannon are also masters at internet marketing. And so one of the things that we're going to show you, and I'm going to talk to them about today, is how to use video in your marketing, and video to get your motivated sellers calling you. It's fabulous, and it's fascinating what they're doing. And you know how much it costs you to use video? Nothing. The investment is a simple investment of around $100 to get a good video camera, and it's small, it's lightweight, it's practical, and we're going to show you, teach you how to leverage video in your marketing. And then the third thing we're going to cover is social media. And this is stuff, it's internet marketing, but it's all the stuff where people are connected together in social networks. And so we're going to have a discussion, and Keith and Shannon are going to show us and teach us what they're doing in terms of Facebook marketing, YouTube marketing, and all of the other social network platforms like Twitter, and how they've got those things integrated, and they're getting a tremendous number of leads through those techniques. And so Keith and Shannon, I'm glad that you're here. Welcome, and I'm looking forward to a terrific conversation today. By the way, everybody on the call, if you don't have it already, grab your pad, grab a pen, because you're going to want to take a lot of notes, because this is a 100% heavy content call. You guys are going to come away today with a lot of material.
Well, thanks a lot, Pete. We are delighted to be here. And as you said, you and I go back a long way. You were one of the first people I met when I got into real estate investing, and you really helped me get off the ground with your wholesaling techniques and things. It's just been such a pleasure to share joint ventures and all the things that you and I have done over the years. And so I just want you to know you really helped us get off the start back when we first went live with real estate investing back in early 2005.
Wow, great. Terrific, Keith.
But we're so excited today to share with people how we've really cracked this marketing for real estate marketing. I mean, Without leads, you're out of business. And the most important thing in the world is to have leads coming in. And the thing that we're going to share today is all the techniques that we use work for any real estate strategy you're doing. So if you're a renovator, or if you're a wholesaler, or if you're doing short sales or subject twos, whatever your strategy is, the techniques we use are going to work for all that. And the wonderful thing is really between what Pete said, the yellow letter, and our video marketing and social media and internet marketing, our budget these days is less than $50 a month. That is
Keith, I told everybody it was $500 or a little bit less. $50 a month?
$50 a month is all we spend on marketing. And once you see how powerful, what we're going to give you first is a tool to get kicked off and get leads coming in. Once you have properties to market, we're going to then show you how to transfer that over to the social media and video side. And once you've got some deals kicked off from the yellow letter, it's incredible how many leads you get.
Basically, Pete, in less than a year of really ramping up our social and internet presence, we haven't done a yellow letter campaign since August or September of last year, so we've had no direct mail expenses. And when Keith is talking about the $50 a month, that's just to keep our website going and our database going and our email blaster. I mean, it's just those basic costs that you would probably need with any business.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay, that's fabulous. Okay, great. Let's get into the yellow letter, guys.
Okay, we're going to just quickly go through a little bit about who we are in case you don't know who Keith and Shannon French are. We went full-time in real estate investing back in 2005. Since that time, we've done over 300 deals. We launched a very unique strategy that we use full-time today in January of 2010. We've spent a lot of money on boot camps and things. We both come out of the corporate world. Both of us work for Chevron. Shannon and I have done a lot of guest speaking for different people, and so it's just been wonderful. We actually met when I was speaking for Ben Pargman, and Shannon just loves to tell that story about how I was up on stage.
I like that too.
Well, I mean, that $150,000 that Keith and I spent combined in our training is a real number, and that's always, hard to look at sometimes, but you know how I get over it is my favorite boot camp that I went to was Keith was speaking at a presentation or at a seminar for Ben Pargman, and he did a fantastic marketing job. He's always been marketing well. Let everybody in the room know that he was available, and somehow we connected at the end, and the rest is history. 3 months or maybe 4 months later, I was moved up to Maryland, and we just got married last year.
Wow, I love hearing that story, you guys, because I love it when when a husband and a wife meet at a seminar and have a common agenda, and I just think that's terrific. I get goosebumps every time I hear your story.
Well, we certainly feel very lucky. But let's jump on into this yellow letter.
Great.
And I will have to say, hands down, it's the #1 lead generation system to get sellers calling you. Anytime that our volume goes down, it hasn't gone down in so long, I can't remember, but because of our other things that we're going to talk about. But when you're just getting started and you don't have the houses to put into the internet system, this yellow letter is just super powerful. Now, if somebody goes out there, you can find many kinds of yellow letters. The one on the left over here is the original famous yellow letter that some people started. And the thing is once you develop this yellow letter, your message, like the one over to the right, you just need to figure out what message it is you're trying to convey to what seller group. So if you're trying to get wholesale deals or renovation deals versus rent-to-own deals, that message could be a little different. Anytime you just tweak what that message says, and it's really going to, that in the list is going to really determine the volume of leads you get. But anytime we use the yellow letter, the lowest return we've ever gotten is 10%. Our average is somewhere between 15 and 20% return. That means people calling from the letter, getting it opened and getting the phone to ring, and our highest ever was 40% for one zip code we mailed to.
Yeah, 40% is a phenomenal figure. I'm getting, in the neighborhood of between the 12 and a 14% return. And I want everyone to write this down. All businesses fail at the point of marketing. And so if you don't have enough leads coming into your business, then you're not going to have the revenue that's going to keep you in business. And so it's really important very early in your game to get the marketing in place and the right marketing working for you. There are two elements to your marketing. The first element is this. You need to have your USP. That stands for your unique selling proposition. And as Keith said, that's your message. That's your compelling message that will cause someone to want to pick up the phone and call you. The second element of effective marketing is getting your message in front of enough eyeballs. And so those are the two elements of any effective marketing campaign. And so what Keith is sharing with you is that this yellow letter is very effective. And one of the things, Keith, I want to talk to you and Sharon about is, why is the yellow letter so effective? And the first view that I have on it is clearly it's coming from a regular person. It's not coming from a big, corporate house buying company.
Well, that's exactly right. And what's unique about this handwritten letter, we also do when we put signs out in front of a house or we're advertising a house or using bandit signs in any fashion, we use the same technique, a handwritten sign. Notice on this page, this looks like an invitation to a party. We have tried every single thing you can think of. We've used white envelopes. Everything needs to be handwritten. The person receiving the letter needs to believe that it's like an invitation to a party and it will get opened. That's the key to marketing, is getting it opened. Anytime we've used like typed letters with typewritten and stick-on return labels or postcards, our return is extremely low, and typically it's less than like 1%.
Yeah, with postcards, I've done the cheap, easy ones with the post office. They're simple to get out. But, I mean, I think I was lucky to get 0.5% response out of that.
That's exactly about the same that we've experienced, Pete. And the key to these pastel letters, too, is to stick a goofy stamp on there. Every time we go to the post office, we ask them what's the goofiest, craziest, wildest, brightest stamp they have. Because even we've put the American flag on there or the Liberty Bell before, the volume goes down. So it's the outside of the envelope has to be handwritten. The inside has to appear to be a handwritten, fully handwritten personal letter. So what these people are believing is they have this personal letter geared just to them. And I've had so many people call and said, "Why do you want to buy my particular house?" And that's just always a fun conversation. I always tell them, "Well, I didn't pick your house out in particular, but we'd love to buy in that zip code."
Yeah, let's hit this this show and tell in some detail, Keith. Go back a slide. Okay, the pastel letters, these are the letters you've got on your tabletop, and I see blue, pink, golden, and looks like a pastel green. The box behind it, you got these at Staples?
Got them at Staples, and they're still available. Last time I ordered them, Staples was the only one who offered them. Some other places may have picked them up, but they give you a bulk pricing. I think right now, they used to be like $12 a box, and now they're like $16 a box, but if you buy 3 or more, it's like $15.40. But what you can do is there's a bulk order number that any customer service rep can give you. And you can get on the phone with them and say, "Hey, I want to order." I think we ordered like 50 boxes one time, and that was good forever, it seemed.
Yeah.
And I saw them on sale for $11 one time, and I asked for that sale price if I were to order in volume, and I believe she gave it to me at that price.
Let's put numbers on it, Shannon. If you got it $11 per box, how many boxes in a case?
They sell them by the box, and there are 100 envelopes in each box.
Okay.
So when we typically, for the volume that is just perfect for Keith and I, we do 500 letter campaigns every other month. So that's a total of 3,000 a year. So you would buy 30 boxes.
Okay. So 30 boxes times 11, that's $330.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's great, and that covers your envelopes then for the whole year.
That's right.
Okay, terrific. And then what I see below the envelopes, those aren't just graphics. Those are samples of real stamps that you're using that you can get from the post office.
Right, exactly.
And we've used Star Wars, and sometimes the PET ones work, the ASPC or Humane
Yeah.
Society will do pet ones. Any of those that are just not your standard Libertyville or Flag work great.
The comic book ones, I think there's some with Dennis the Menace and Archie on there that are out right now. Basically, just the brighter, the louder, the bigger the stamp, the better. There was a great Celebrate stamp, but it was kind of small, so we ended up sticking with the Simpsons and the comic book strip ones.
Great. And I mean, they kind of look like kid stamps to me, but they get opened, huh?
They do. It's a fun letter to receive in the mail. When you get that colorful letter with that funny stamp and that handwritten envelope, people open that letter.
Interesting. That's fabulous.
And another important thing is the letter over to the right. We do get these mass printed, and we have that covered here coming up in a couple of slides.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that the printer that you use doesn't just print that yellow on the front.
Yeah, you're stealing my thunder a little bit. We'll talk about that. But I did want to mention here with the why we like these envelopes in particular, because we have tested several different kinds. This is the size of a half sheet of paper. Where's my little mouse? This is the size of a half sheet of paper. So it makes it very easy for our lady who does these for us to just fold this in half, plop it in the envelope, and then it's got the easy strip. So, you know, you're not dealing with, well, or using one of those sponge things.
Am I getting ahead if I ask you, Shannon, how much you pay your lady to stuff these?
Well, you know, I'm going to, I absolutely don't mind telling, because I think she's looking for more work. I need to confirm for that, and we haven't put her to work since August or September. So I think she would be more than happy to take on some, but she does them for 25 cents a letter.
Wow, okay.
She will fill in the address with a red pen of the property address in question right here. We leave a space for it. And then on the envelope, she will address it to where it needs to go, where the owner is currently living. She knows how to read this on our spreadsheet, and I don't think I've ever seen her make a mistake. And then on the front of the envelope, she'll also handwrite our return address. She'll stamp it. She'll mail it. And we do batches of 50 over the course of 10 days. And that literally keeps us busy for 2 months.
When you say 50
inventory.
over 10 days, tell me what that means, Shannon.
50. She'll drop 50 of these letters each day for 10 days for a total of 500 mailings.
Okay, great. So for 10 days, it's 500 mailings, 50 per day for 10 days.
That's right. And anytime we do 500 for the strategy that we do, that gives us 2 months of inventory of houses. So 500 letters, 50 a day for 10 days, we get enough houses for 2 months of inventory easily.
Wow.
And now this particular letter is geared to absentee owners. Like Shannon was saying, Our Lady puts Dear and,
I forgot about that.
and whose ever name goes there. So Dear John Smith. And since it's an absentee owner, we're not buying the house that the letter went to or trying to buy the house that the letter went to. So on the absentee list, you put the other house that they own right there. So again, you have to style this letter according to, are you trying to buy the house where you're sending the letter? Then you don't need to put buy your house at. It's obviously going to the one you're trying to target.
Yes. All right, great. Thanks for sharing that. That's great information.
Now, I just want to share that if you go out there and just Google pictures of yellow letters, you have to put the words pictures of anything. So you can say pictures of construction mistakes. Tons of yellow letter examples will appear on the computer. And there are just many, many companies out there that will do these for you. A nationwide yellow letter company that we found, this Go Fast Inc., will do exactly what we just showed you and get it mailed out, all for 92 cents a letter.
Okay, that's a good price.
Now, we happen to use a local Maryland company. Here's their contact information, and you can see the last time we bought yellow letters was 3,000 yellow letters. A batch of 3,000 in 2009 cost us $209, which was roughly 7 cents a letter. So,
a funny story, when we took our yellow letter, you know, a finished product, and we took it to him and showed it to him and said, this is what we want a duplication of. He looked at it and said, this is a piece of crap. I can't print this. It was just so not the norm of what he was used to doing with people.
Yeah.
That was his knee-jerk reaction. And we explained to him that we don't want you to print a rendition of this on white paper, like basically use a printer and cover it with yellow ink with the lines on it. We actually want the real yellow paper fed into the printer and make sure that our writing that's going to be in red ink lines up with the lines so that it looks handwritten.
Right.
But what it's actually printed on has to be the real yellow letter, because people will be able to, spot the fake if it's printed.
Yeah, so don't make the mistake, everybody on the call. Write this down. Don't make the mistake of letting a printer run white sheets to the printer where they print with yellow ink to make it look like a yellow letter. That doesn't work. What Keith and Shannon are talking about here is actually using yellow line paper that are blank and then running those through the printer to generate the numbers of your letter.
Right, and so what the printer is going to need, you'll have to make a template. Approachable, it looks personalized and handwritten. Well, once you have the yellow letter in front of them and they're reading your message, then they're going to think, well, are these people for real? And the business card is what provides okay, this is a legitimate business. They got me to open the letter. Now I want to know if they're for real and legitimate. And so throwing that business card in there that was professional looking and had our picture on it really helped not only increase the volume of the calls, but it also decreased the volume of the irate calls of, my house isn't for sale, why'd you put me on this list? It pretty much eliminated those calls.
That's interesting.
Well, another good point about the business card is it drives people to our website, which falls into our social media marketing. So we actually want people to go to our website, because at our website we educate people on what we do, the strategies we do, and that further gets better calls when we throw that card in there.
Okay, that's new information for me, so that makes a lot of sense. I like that.
Now, a lot of people.
What's the message that's on your card? What does it say?
It's just, if you can grab one. On the front, it's got a picture of us and our buybaltimoreproperties.com website, which is a WordPress website which does a good job of, once somebody gets there, of explaining what we do. And then on the back, since we're dealing with houses where people want full asking price, we have a message that says, sellers, get your full asking price. No commissions, no closing cost. Renters, buyers, rent-to-own homes, beautiful homes with easy terms. So and then we put a referral on the back. It says $250 to $500 cash for referrals, and once again our website. So it's critical to use the front and the back of your card. The back of the card is telling people we can get you full price if it's a seller. And if you don't want to sell your house and you know somebody that wants to rent to own a home, here's the website to go to for that.
Okay, great, super.
Now, a lot of people ask us, since we love the absentee list, well, how do we get this list? And
I was just going to ask that.
Not in the MLS in Maryland, Virginia, D.C., wherever the MLS works for this area is a phenomenal MLS system. Now, we realize everyone doesn't have it. We're going to cover that here in a minute. But the absentee list can be got for free in the MLS. All you have to do is when you log into the MLS is go to the tax module where I've pointed there, the tax module. So you click on that, and it opens up to this page. And you can see it says absentee owner. That drop-down box is already built into the MLS. And so, of course, you say, yes, I want absentee owners. Then we pick the zip code that we want to target this to. What area do we want the absentee list going to? Now, on transaction date, here's a little trick we've learned a long time ago. Because of the types of houses we buy and what most people are looking for, you want that house to have some equity in it or some reason they want to sell. So we go back 1 year from the current date. So today's February 19th. So the transaction dates we would go back would be February 19th of 2010 and beyond, because we want them to have held that house for a year at least and have gotten to some reason they want to sell that house. Then for transaction amounts, you just have to figure out if you're looking for cheap wholesale deals, you're going to do $10,000 to $175,000, whatever criteria you want. You can change that, and then you can put residential down at the bottom, so you eliminate the commercial deals and the land. And then a neat little trick I learned, I didn't point to it, but where it says lot and acreage, you can put 1-, and that way you're not going to get a lot of land deals, people with just land calling you.
Yes, yes. Terrific. So your top way of getting the list is from the MLS. And now I know a lot of people on the call don't have the MLS access. So if you don't have MLS access or you can't get this public information, where do people go next then?
Awesome question. And so if you don't have the MLS, there are tons of list brokers on the internet. All you literally have to do is Google list brokers. One of the ones we've used in the past that's very reliable is melissadata.com. They charge $100 per 1,000 records, or 10 cents a record. So in Shannon's and my case, that we only want to mail out 500 letters every 2 months, we're not spending very much. We're spending $50 for the number of records we need. But if you need to mail out for other strategies where you need more leads, you might want 1,000 records or 1,500 records per month. But you're going to pay about 10 cents a record with Melissa Data. Now, of course, if you do a little searching for other list brokers, you can, and you might know some yourself, Pete.
I do. I want everybody to write this down, melissadata.com, because there's a lot of different kinds of lists that you can buy with different search criteria from Melissa Data. Some other ones that I've used, there's a subscription service you can get called realquest.com. That's REALQUEST.com, realquest.com. That's a subscription that for your monthly subscription price, which is between $135 and $150 a month, gives you unlimited access, unlimited records for whatever county that you're operating in. So that's one. I don't think you need to have a monthly subscription, and so there's a subsidiary of the same company called ListSource. So it's listsource.com, and they run about 25 cents per record. And I do, I'm looking for junkers in my wholesale business, Keith, and so, I'm doing a double screen. One is non-owner occupied, and then the second screening on it is that they've owned the house at least 10 years. And so for that kind of a list, it costs me about 25 cents per record.
Well, that's the beauty of these list brokers. You can ask for anything you can possibly think of under the sun, and they can pull a list. If you wanted certain age group people or people that made a certain amount of money or people that own homes free and clear, if you're targeting free and clear houses, they can get you any list that you can come up with.
I'll tell you, I haven't done it yet, but my next test is going to be mailing to people who are 55 years old and over. And so I'm going to mail to about 1,000 of those as a test, you know, looking for what kind of results I get from that as a list.
I think that's going to be a great list, and we've also had a lot of peers in the industry say they're having a great success with probate lists.
Okay, everybody. So Melissa Data is a great place to get those kind of lists in addition to the ones that we've been talking about. All right, guys, what else you got?
Well, you'd asked us earlier to just kind of break out the cost that we pay, and so I'm going to pull up exactly what we pay to get these letters mailed out. The printer that we covered a while ago charges us roughly 7 cents a letter, and we said we mail 50 a day for 10 days, and that gives us 2 months of inventory. The lady that handwrites each letter charges 25 cents. Your stamp is 44 cents. We throw a business card into every letter, which you don't have to do. That's 4 cents a letter. The envelopes run us about 16 cents a letter. So our cost is about 96 cents a letter.
And that really should be the highest cost because this is the top, you know, not really getting a deal on the envelopes. This can be shaved down whenever you buy all this stuff in volume, of course. You'll get a better price with the exception of the stamp. That's pretty much going to stay the same. And same with, you know, well, this stays the same for our person who we have doing all the writing. But there can be some savings realized if you buy this stuff in volume.
So whether you break it up like we do or use a full-service company, you can see that we pay 96 cents, but full-service companies that will do everything for you, it runs from 92 cents a letter to maybe a little bit over $1 a letter. So once again, with our marketing strategy, if we do have to mail out, we only spend about $240 a month if we need to ramp up our inventory.
Okay, so if I spend $240 in a given month, what can I expect in terms of deals coming back?
Depends on the kinds of houses you're trying to buy. Now, once again, we're targeting people that want full asking price for their home, so it doesn't take that many leads to get on the phone to say, hey, we can help you get full asking price. So if we mail 500 letters out in a given month, we're going to get probably around 15 houses from that to list for our rent-to-own business. Now, if you're doing other strategies like fix and flip, you're probably going to have to double or triple that number that we're using.
Yeah.
500 letters is good for us for 2 months. I would say with other strategies, maybe 500 letters per month up to 1,000 per month.
Yes.
And so typically for most strategies, you're going to spend about $1,000 a month to get enough leads to probably purchase 2 to 4 homes a month. When we were doing lots of buy and fix and flips, I think we were spending right at $1,000 a month, and we were buying somewhere between 3 to 5 houses a month that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so $1,000 per month in your traditional wholesaling was giving you 3 to 5 houses a month.
Easily, and all we used during those days, because we didn't know how to do the techniques we're going to talk about next before we got real savvy on the internet, that's the only method we use to get houses for short sales, buy and flip, and wholesale deals. And subject twos, when we used to do those, we don't do those kind of transactions anymore.
Right. Okay, terrific. That's great information.
So next, I think, unless anybody wants to, if you wanted to elaborate a little bit more on direct mail, we want to start taking people into the free marketing side of our business where you don't have to spend anything but $50 or less a month. Once you've ramped your business up with the yellow letter, gotten some deals, have some houses to list, now it's time to convert that over to the internet and social media. And when you get to about 6 months to a year out in your business, you should be spending literally or very little money per month. So let's get right on into some internet business.
Fabulous.
All right, so we've had tremendous results from referral business and high Google ranking. Once you start showing up in Google through the techniques we're going to show you, people who say, I want to buy a house or want to sell my house are going to land on all your various sites. One of the keys to this business, videos go viral fast. Videos
what does viral mean?
Viral means once you place something out on the internet, on an internet site, such as YouTube or Facebook, when you put a video out on YouTube, it starts showing up to very virally for sellers. So this is a great way to market for sellers. For showing testimonials, showing.
And I'm just going to hop in here. Virally, another word that's in the internet world is organically. Like when someone goes to google.com, and let's say for our business, so many times we ask, how did you find us? And they said, we went to Google and just typed in rent to own in Baltimore, Maryland. And our videos and our website came up. The search engines have spiders that search the internet and try to find the most relevant thing to anybody's search that they put into that Google search bar. And right now, the things that are getting priority are videos and blog posts. And so in your marketing on the internet, you need to be heavy into providing video content, and you need to be heavy in providing blog content. So we're starting off with talking about video right now and how easy it is to do it, because you'll get pulled up on the first page of Google organically without, we're not talking about pay-per-click and have your ad show, right there. It's an automatic thing because Google is recognizing you as a very relevant resource for whatever someone is searching on.
Okay, so what I hear you telling me is that it's free.
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
100% free. This little video camera, there are many kinds out there these days. We've been pretty loyal to the Flip Minnow. I think it was $105 or $115. You can see how small it is. It fits into your shirt pocket. And over to the right, you literally just plug it into your USB port to your computer, and it automatically opens up to this next screen here, which automatically sends it to YouTube, which sends it virally, like we were talking about a while ago, to show up in Google rankings.
So wait a minute. Wait a minute. So what you're telling me is that with the flip cams and some of these little portable cameras that are really convenient to drag around, all you got to do is plug it into your computer, and you don't have to be a programmer, and you don't have to know coding, and you don't have to know any of that complicated stuff. You just plug it, and it takes care of itself.
You plug it in, and the computer and the little camera know exactly what you want to do. I mean, you don't have to know any programming. You don't have to read any instructions, and it's pretty simple. Once you just plug that in over there to that computer, this is a screen that's going to show up. It's going to take the video that you shot out in the field of a home or a testimonial, and it's going to place it right here on your screen. And down at the bottom, it's got online, it's got Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. It knows, and it knows exactly whichever one you pick, exactly how to send it to you. As long as you have a free Facebook, a free Twitter account, and a free YouTube account, you can load this video up simultaneously to these 3 locations that once again help you go virally, once again help you show up in Google rankings.
Okay, so I want to recap this. So you shoot your video, you plug your camera into the computer, you hit this little button, and then you can send your video to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and so just by the act of hitting that button and sending it for free, it's basically going out into the internet universe to be discovered.
Yes, it's going into the cloud. And the only thing I'll add is the software that comes with your camera is so easy. In this example, it has a spot where you can, because Keith wanted to do a little introduction, and just describe it before the video actually kicks in. You can see it's like a 4-minute video, and it's so easy. It just says something like, do you want an intro to your video? If so, what is it? And he typed in this text, and it just put it in there.
Yeah, good point. A lot of people ask, do I have to be a video editor? I mean, you can get real fancy with that, but all we simply do is we're always in a hurry. We use the editing software that came with this, and like Shannon said, it says, do you want a title to your video? Do you want to add music? I mean, it's so easy to edit. It's just
And this all comes with the camera, so there's no
right. It
additional
comes
cost
with the
to this.
camera. It comes with the camera. It's I guess the term for it is plug and play, and
yeah, no software is included. It comes straight off the little video camera.
Great. So it's all self-contained. Fabulous.
So to take this another step farther, let's talk about exactly what we do every time we get a new property and want to get it out there on the internet so that house hunters can find it. Now, a key here is all this works well with WordPress. So you must convert your website to a WordPress website. And to get a WordPress website, you can simply go to GoDaddy.com, and they have a package on there that says WordPress hosting and email accounts. So once you go to GoDaddy, WordPress automatically comes with the hosting. Once you've got a WordPress site, you've got to create your free YouTube, your free Twitter, your free LinkedIn, and a Facebook fan page. Now, the key to Facebook fan pages are most people have a personal page, but you can create a fan page for your business. And so we're BuyBaltimoreProperties.com. We have a fan page on Facebook. And that allows you to market unlimitedly for your business and have unlimited people that can be fans of that. Where you're limited to 5,000 people on your personal page, it's unlimited on a fan page. And the trick to the fan page is YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, you can literally, on the computer, it'll say, do you want to link Facebook to Twitter? And you say yes. LinkedIn and YouTube say the same thing. Twitter's the key to all this because once you can post to one of these locations, Twitter will then pick it up and post it to all the others simultaneously. Then you want to create a vFlyer account. vFlyer?
Well, yeah, and I just wanted to drive that first point home because it was so important, because some people might get overwhelmed, you know, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. We're not going and posting our properties one at a time on each of these sites. What Keith just said is he's rigged all of these sites, all of our accounts with these sites. He's rigged them together so that we only have to enter it once, and it just automatically goes to all of these other ones.
Okay, that makes sense to me. So what we're doing is you set the account up once. So it takes a few minutes to set each of these free accounts up. And then once they're set up, that's the hard part. And then from that moment forward, they're all integrated and work together automatically.
That's exactly right. And then typically most of these accounts will say, do you want to link to Twitter, to Facebook? If you're on YouTube, they all ask you, do you want to link to the others? And you just say yes and enter your password for that, and they automatically talk to each other. Each one of these helps you rank in Google. All of these are very powerful things that show up in Google searches. So you can imagine, once you have this video that's already a very high-ranking Google item, and you link it to all these other things, you're facing thousands of people out there that you don't even know that are buyers and sellers instantly.
Great. Okay. I think over the course of the next few months, we're going to spend some more time going into these different avenues in more detail. So for everybody on the call, if we're giving you a drink with a fire hose, don't worry. We're going to revisit each of these in detail.
That's right, and they're so simple when we go through them. vFlyer is another very powerful item to use. We highly recommend, if you don't do anything else, get a vFlyer account. The great thing about vFlyer is it's like a little website by itself. So even if you didn't have a website and you put your property that you're trying to sell on a vFlyer account, vFlyer costs $12.95 a month, and it automatically posts to about 40 other websites like HotPads, Trulia, eBay, Oodle. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, I've lost count. They've grown so much over the last couple of years. They also do have a free version as well. But once you get to a certain volume, they do start charging, and you do get some advanced features when you do have a paying account. And the other thing I wanted to mention, a very new recent feature with vFlyer, they have a Facebook app that you can download. And basically one of the tabs on your fan page looks like a website listing page. So even in the worst case scenario where you don't have a website, you want something up quick, and and you're working on getting your full-blown WordPress blog website and it's just taking time, you can instantly get a fan page set up easily, get a vFlyer account, and use their application, and it looks like you have a website with all of your listings.
That's right. And so if you didn't have a website, you just give people that link on your business card, and it's got all your listings nicely laid out. And once they click on that, it'll expand and open up into full detailed view of all the houses and pictures.
Terrific.
So basically, once we get a lead, we go out and take our flip cam with us and a digital camera. You want to take 20 to 30 pictures, and you want to do a little video tour of the house. You always want to do a video of the outside of the house so people can see the neighborhood, and then the inside of the house. And this drastically cuts down on tire kickers because you're giving them the next best thing to be in there, a full video of the house. To kind of reiterate what tools we use, we only use 10 tools for our social media. 2 are electronic. The first one's your flip camera. You need a digital camera. You need WordPress, vFlyer, YouTube. Now, YouTube is free. Facebook is free. Twitter's free. Campaigner is a customer relations manager thing. That is the way you can send email blast out and comply with spam rules. There's others out there like iContact. It's just a way to take the property that you have and blast it out to everybody you already have on your current buyers list. And in our case, it's rent-to-own buyers and wholesale buyers. We use Craigslist, which is free, and LinkedIn, which is free. So the only thing that costs anything is WordPress costs $4.95 a month, and vFlyer costs $12.95 a month if you have to step up to the paid version and don't use the free version. So now
okay. And this is the important thing I want everybody to know, is that the internet marketing does not cost a lot of money. It's very, very inexpensive, and you can get your compelling message in front of so many eyeballs by effectively using the internet. And right here, everybody, just take a moment and write down these 10 items. From the flip cam to the digital camera, the WordPress. Go ahead and write all the 10 items down, because these are the keys to the kingdom when it comes to internet marketing. And so make sure that you've got each one of these covered.
I mean, just the little investment of time to set these free accounts up and learn how to use them, and they really are easy, and we can cover them in future webinars, will cut your marketing cost out almost completely, like it has done for Shannon and me. Mm-hmm. Just to go to a little bit more about YouTube, because it's so powerful, that's where your video needs to be uploaded to. When you go to YouTube, right here is where you can put a description of the house and a link to your website. So here's just a more blown up portion. This linking system of your website also helps your website go viral, which means helping your own personal WordPress site show up in Google. Put a description about your property, and then these tags. Tags used to be so confusing to me. These are things that you want to put little 1-word and 2-word jots that you think people are going to search on. So for example, we put Keith and Shannon French, rent-to-own homes, Baltimore rent-to-own, Baltimore rentals, rent-to-own, lease options, lease option Baltimore. You're just putting little tags, and you just separate them by a comma, and YouTube will automatically put them in parentheses. Those are going to help you when people get onto the computer and say, I want to sell my house or I want to buy my house in Baltimore. This will help them land on your YouTube video, which then drives them to your website.
I call those things bait.
They're actually, they're worth their weight. I mean, they have no weight, but they're worth just millions of dollars each, I think.
Right.
So let's keep going here. Once you've got your property listing in your vFlyer, you can upload your digital pictures to your vFlyer account. You then log into your WordPress website. Now, if anybody goes to www.buybaltimoreproperties.com, that's a WordPress site with a StudioPress plug-in. And plug-ins used to blow my mind. I was like, what is a plug-in? It's simply you purchase a StudioPress theme that allows you to have the look that we have on our site. People say, how did you design your site? We paid like $60 for this theme. One-time fee. And it sets it up automatically where you can load each individual property in there one at a time. And let's just take a look at what you do with this YouTube video and how you use it. Once you have your YouTube video already up on YouTube, it's got a little button that you click right above where it's marked out there and Shannon's pointing. It's got an embed code. So you grab this embed code, which is very powerful because that's why you want to use WordPress, and you pop it, literally you just cut and paste that embed code, and then your YouTube video shows up on your WordPress website. Now, WordPress is really a blog, and like Shannon said earlier, blogs have high ranking in Google, which gets you found. You just input at the top property details. You insert that embed code for your YouTube, and then once you create vFlyer, vFlyer has the exact same thing. Once you put pictures on your vFlyer, it makes a little movie, if you will, like a sliding show of your pictures. That also has an embed code that you just copy and paste into your WordPress website. Does that sound overwhelming, Pete, yet, or is that?
No, I've got the thumbnail sketch of it. And the bottom line is that if you don't want to mess with one of these, you can write a check and get somebody to set this up for you.
That's right. Almost every college kid these days knows how to use WordPress. Everybody blogs. All the blog sites you see, those are just plug-in themes that you add a plug-in to change it whatever theme. So any college kid can set this up for you.
Great.
So here's what it all looks like in the end. This is a simple WordPress website with all of our properties listed down the line here. That's the theme we plugged in, which makes it super easy to put each property in there. And then we put testimonial videos over here on the right. These are buyer testimonials and seller testimonials. So anytime we sell a house or buy a house, we get a testimonial from one or the other. And that way when people say, well, have you ever done business before? Can I have the name of somebody? We say, why don't you go to our website and you can see plenty of testimonials. So these testimonials also go viral and show up in Google, and people say, wow, who's this Buy Baltimore company that made this buyer or seller happy? And they end up going to your website and calling you.
Man, that's terrific, Keith.
Almost wrapping it up here. I'm trying to keep this not too technical. At this point, you've got a WordPress property listing, you've got your vFlyer, and you've got your embed code from your pictures, you've got your YouTube embedded, you've got your video testimonials from your clients. Now here comes the real fun thing, something really neat. WordPress, I kind of wanted to go back maybe, but once you have your listing in your WordPress, each listing has its own web link. So you can drive people to just that listing on your website. Well, the beautiful thing about Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn is that they know how to read that WordPress link and turn it into this, which is just a Facebook post.
Wow,
so all
great.
we did was grab the link that shows up in the URL for a particular listing off WordPress and slap it into Facebook, and it makes this nice place. And now you've reached all your friends on your friends page, plus all your fans on your fan page. And again, we have it linked to Twitter and all the others, so once again, it goes virally again.
Well, that's terrific. And so what you're doing is you're creating situations where your message is getting out layer upon layer of social networks.
And at this point, we know we're reaching tens of thousands of people every time we do one of these postings. Our website hits, and you can tell how many hits places are getting. We're getting hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of hits a day just to our website just by doing these techniques. So the word spreads quickly to buyers and sellers.
Right. And just to recap, there is a little bit of time on setting these accounts up and getting them rigged or linked all together. But the other point that Keith is saying, we're reaching so many other people. Like, to get this right here, it was just literally a copy and paste.
That's it. We didn't type that into Facebook.
Terrific.
And the one last step to this process is your CRM software, your customer relation management software, which is your iContact. We use Campaigner.
Wait a minute. You guys are using your Fortune 500 terminology on me. What you're telling me is this last piece is how you keep track of your buyers and sellers.
This is exactly a database of our buyers and sellers. Great way to put it. So everybody that's ever visited us or called us, we've gotten their email account and their phone number or their name and number and put it into a database that's called CRM. Well, now when you have a property, a home to sell, or you're looking for a buyer, you simply go into that database and take the information from your WordPress listing and put that link here, which drives them back to your website. You put your Twitter account there, you put your Facebook fan page account there, and you have pictures that you put here. So then this gets blasted out to all your buyers on your manual buyers list or sellers list, and it reaches all of them and their friends, and they start clicking around.
And people might, like I don't know, I'm not familiar with the term CRM, but people probably received email blasts, like maybe newsletters, and they might see that little icon. I know I get a lot from iContact and Constant Contact, and really all it is a system where you can mass email people something that looks very professional, with pictures, and for some reason our little icons aren't showing up on this, but normally there's little icons there. So I don't know if that kind of helped to make it a little bit more relatable to what this Campaigner and CRM software is all about.
Yep. What we're gonna do is we're gonna come back to each of these individual topics we've talked about, Keith and Shannon, and we're gonna do a 30 to 60 minute a call just like this one, where we're going to dig into a little more detail with more specificity in each of these, because I think these are really timely topics for everybody, and so we're going to put color on the palette. So we'll think of this as an entry level call, and then we'll dig deeper over the course of the year. Terrific, guys. What else you got? So gotcha. Okay, well, everybody on the call, it looks like our time together is coming to an end for today, and I want to thank all of you for joining with us and being with us. And for those of you who want more information from Keith and Shannon, just post your questions on the flippinghomes.com community forum, and anything you want to know about any of the marketing that we've talked about today, or anything you want to know about how Keith and Shannon are operating their. Oh, there you guys are. Well, I lost you for a moment.
We had a power surge in our neighborhood, and it lasted for about 5 seconds there.
Oh, okay. Great. Well, welcome back. I was just wrapping the call up. Did you have anything else you wanted to share before we go?
No, we were actually on the last slide, and
okay.
What we just wanted people to know is that once you get these systems in place, you use your yellow letter to get going, you implement these internet and social media things that are basically free, and you can get to a point like Shannon and I are, where we spend less than $50 a month on marketing. So if people have questions for us, there's a members forum on the flippinghomes.com site we would love people to go to and ask us questions.
Terrific. Well, Keith and Shannon, I want to thank you for spending the time with all of us and going through this low-cost, high-impact marketing. I can guarantee you this, everyone who's on the call, because I use many of these techniques in my own business. this will take your marketing and your leads up to the next level. And so, again, Keith and Shannon are going to make themselves available on the community forum, on the news group, on the flippinghomes.com website. So any questions you guys have for Keith and Shannon, just pop them there, and they'll keep an eye, and we'll make sure that they get answered for you. Okay, well, thanks, everybody, for joining us today on the call. Keith and Shannon, I want to especially thank you guys for taking an hour on a Saturday afternoon to just share all this great information with everybody in the Flipping Homes community. So I want to thank you guys greatly for that.
Well, thank you so much. It was our pleasure.
We love doing this. Thanks again, Pete.
Okay, and this is Keith and Shannon French, the creators of the Link Option System. Great. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.